Oklahoma's only statewide newscast. This is the Oklahoma News Report.
Republicans in Oklahoma don't have much time to settle on whom they want to fill the Speaker's chair, with that legislative session now less than a week away. One person has already announced his candidacy for the post, and the list of potential candidates is up to 8. As OETA's Jason Doyle reports, this isn't the first time there's been a sudden change in leadership in the State House of Representatives.
Scandals in government and challenges to legislative leaders are nothing new in Oklahoma.
We've had a series of challenges to sitting speakers historically in the Oklahoma House of Representatives. Some have come from inside the Speaker's party, some have been bipartisan challenges.
State Representative Joe Dorman wrote a paper on the ouster of Speaker Jim Barker in the late 1980s while working on his master's degree. He says Barker's troubles began when a group of young legislators became frustrated at not getting his attention to their ideas.
These people met at the split T and discussed ways to get the Speaker to listen to them, and finally just came up with the idea to oust him. So they had some of their attorneys do the research, got the motion down properly, and one of them was recognized, made the motion, and it threw the House pretty much into chaos.
Senator Jay Paul Gumm was a House staffer in May of 1989 when the ouster occurred.
It was quite a bit of chaos. I will say that the group, then known as the T-Bar 12, had planned very, very well for every potential parliamentary eventuality that was going to be employed to try to prevent that motion from being considered.
Gumm was on the floor of the House at the time the motion was made to oust Speaker Barker.
At that time in my life, I was 25 years old, and I was working on the floor of the House of Representatives as one of the clerks, and I was actually the clerk who had the written motion put down in front of me.
Even through the change, the business of Oklahoma's government marched on. However, Baker's ouster affected the power of future speakers of the House.
The Speaker used to be viewed as the most powerful person in the state of Oklahoma, even more powerful than the governor. And after that ouster, the Speaker's position became much weaker.
Dorman was a House staffer when an attempt was made to oust then Speaker of the House, Larry Adair.
It was right before I was getting ready to leave to run myself, and the minority leader at the time, Fred Morgan, had been working votes to try and get enough members to change over.
That ouster fell short, and Adair served out his term as Speaker. This time, there wasn't an overt attempt to oust Cargill from the Speaker's office. Instead, the decision to step down came after pressure from members of Representative Cargill's own Republican caucus. Many names are surfacing to replace him. Late today, Speaker Pro Tem Gus Blackwell announced he'll seek the Speaker's post.
You know, the betting that we're getting right now is that it's Blackwell or Winchester, but in addition to those names, there are many other names that come to mind. I mean, at this time of day, we're still trying to catch up with all of them and get the list made.
The decision will be made on Monday, the opening day of this year's legislative session.
Next Monday, the Republicans will caucus. They will pick their candidate to take the position of Speaker of the House. That candidate, if they come out with sufficient unified Republican support, will become Speaker. We have to remember the Speaker of the House is chosen by the entire chamber, not just by the majority party.
From the state capitol, Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.